I don't know if everybody just heard that, but my phone went flying across the room. I'm gonna be on here for a few minutes. I gotta get running here pretty soon. But I wanted to address a few things. And one second. I haven't really been on here much. I was actually in the middle of making a video, and I could tell that it wasn't going to get made in time, so I decided to come live for I don't know, a few minutes. And I really didn't even put anything out there, so I don't know if anybody's even going to see this until it's posted. But I've been getting a lot of comments lately about um, just people talking about calories in, calories out type thing, and it's really hard to watch. It really is. And then McDougall just posted some kind of random thing about it's very hard to read, but after I read it like 3 times, it kind of makes it look like he is saying that, not to portion control yourself and not to do, uh just to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full type thing, not to count calories, not to do 50-50 plate. The reason that I couldn't make the video is because the video that I made of him talking about how he wishes he didn't write maximum weight loss also had a part of Chef AJ in it. And that video got copyright restricted and removed. And I don't actually have a copy of that video on my computer. So I'm trying to get that video um, somehow, some way, but I don't know that that's going to happen because I think this is a very dangerous game people are going down. Sure, you can restrict yourself and lose all the weight in the world, but at some point your hormones are going to take a huge hit. Your quality of life is going to take a huge hit. I would rather, matter of fact, I've been talking to some people in the background, and I would rather have more energy and be happy in life than struggling, living on coffee, living on stimulants, living on caffeine, living on whatever Adderall or meth or whatever you're taking to have enough energy to get through your day. I'd rather be a little bit overweight or whatever, and be in that situation than somebody who is skinny, slender, whatever it is, and struggling with just having just the worst quality of life. I would not want to have the reverse of that. Um, so anyway, I'm making a video about that whenever I can piece everything together. That hopefully will be out tomorrow. I know I've been pretty absent on making videos this week. It's not been the greatest week for me making videos. Hopefully that will get better here in the future as things go on. That's really all I was coming on here to say. If there's people come on fairly soon here, I got to be out of here in like the next 15 minutes. If there's people who come on here fairly soon and ask questions, I can answer them. I actually wasn't intending on doing a live today at all. It just I could not get that video out in time, and I really wanted to get some kind of video out today because I like making videos. The comment section has gotten a little strange, maybe because of some of the videos I've been making, maybe because I attract strange people. I don't know what it is. So I wanted to kind of clarify some of that. Maybe I even haven't. I have no idea. But people who have been on keto for a very long time, or carnivore, or eating whatever, high carb, or not high carb, high fat, high protein, or high protein, low fat, or high fat, low protein, or whatever it is, your body really needs a lot of carbohydrates. And if you aren't eating those, you're starving yourself. And if you're starving yourself, you're going to pay the piper. And, I don't know why people don't take me for an example. If you watch Durian Rider, he eats all the high carb in the world, right? Or if you watch McDougall, he eats all the high carb in the world. These people never did keto. These people never went down that path. They don't have that in their system. And if you don't have that in your system, you're also not going to have some of the hormonal struggles that you are going to have with people on keto. Now, there are people that come in my comments that claim they've lost weight. It's a lot of, armchair warriors or whatever they call it. But it's from starving themselves. If you read their comments, and who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Would you rather live a happy life, or would you rather live with being skinnier, but constantly like, bipolar, basically? I asked a question to Dr. McDougall about GERD. I'm really want to get rid of it. He said take Prilosec. Not the answer I expected. That is not the answer I would expect either. Um, the only thing with GERD that I can say is a lot of people get GERD if they have nightshade issues. So you might want to check that first, especially tomatoes. If you eat a lot of tomatoes, if you eat a lot of pasta with tomatoes, if you eat a lot of potatoes even, that might cause that. There's it's usually something to do with some kind of allergy to a food, or you have too much protein, or that was in his last live towards the end of an hour. I haven't watched a lot of his lives, but I would really look into if your tomato is like number one, like tomato really causes it. If you have my parents get it sometimes, and I keep telling because they eat a lot of tomato stuff, and when they don't have it. But I know when I ate nightshades, holy cow, I was just ready to make a big potato salad. I mean, I would get tested. Another thing that can cause it is if you have a solanine issue. There's solanine under the skin of potatoes. So if you do have a solanine issue, you can skin the potatoes and see how that goes. There's different things, but yeah, it's usually some kind of allergic reaction. Or the other thing that you might have is your stomach acid is way too low. So watch that. So there's a couple of different things, but I mean Prilosec. I'm starting to not trust McDougall more and more as time goes on here. I just he's kinda got the same reactions that e every other doctor has, and it's really hard to watch. I put on 18 pounds last year. It's the fat, I'm convinced. It's hard to say without having a DEXA scan, without having any other information, a lot of it could be retention, maybe you're eating a lot of sauces with a lot of salt in it. I mean, you can lose like 20 pounds in a month if you drop salt, some people. So, it may not be fat. It may not be fat, and it's not you're not gonna gain fat like you can water. Water is the easiest thing to retain, easiest thing to lose. Everything else takes a little bit more time than if you read some things, some say there's like 3,500 calories in fat. I think when I did that interview with Georgie, he said something like there's 9,000 calories or some crazy number in fat. So it really is not going to just be instantaneous. I mean, think about how much that is. I mean, you'd literally have to be chugging olive oil for I don't even know if in that case if you can gain that much fat, in a year. And you might have had hormone issues. It's another thing that I would really look into. So it's just too many variables. There's way too many variables. All right, I can be on here for a few more minutes. Anybody's got any questions? But yeah, I'm gonna make more videos this week. It really has been just too much going on. Too much going on this week. I've got to get tested. Yeah, I would get tested. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to pay for it. It's a pain in the ass, and I know it can be like 1,200, $1,400, which is absolutely asinine. The stuff that these places get away with is just it's just pathetic. But anyway, if you've got insurance, hopefully you can get it. It's like $25 copay. But you're probably going to have to find an endocrinologist. Most of the time, you can't go to a general practitioner. Some of them will do it. Some of them won't. It depends on how money hungry they are, how money hungry the system is that they're in. Uh, you know, um, whether you can get them to write a script for it or not. Some of the time, some of these places you can go in yourself, but that seems to be rare. Yeah. But, that was it. Anyway, I'm gonna be making that video. That'll come out hopefully tomorrow. I'm shocked. Some of the old videos that I had in that video are not on YouTube anymore. So I don't know if McDougall had them taken down or what, but there was an interview that he did with High Carb Hannah like 8, 9 years ago, where he talks about how he wishes he didn't write to Maximum Weight Loss. There was a couple other videos, and I'm trying to find those. They might have been on Chef AJ's channel or something, but he's in a couple of interviews that he's had. He has talked about how he wishes he didn't write the book because it's created an eating disorder, basically. But you have to show your body that you're not in a starvation for it to really start losing weight. The only other way is calories in, calories out, and you're going to always be on that, and you're always going to be somewhat miserable, if not completely miserable. But you're going to be on, doing the coffee, the caffeine, other kind of stimulants. People come on here and say that they don't. I just, at some point, it's going to catch up with you. At some point, you're going to live in that euphoric stage, just like I did in keto for some amount of time. It could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, but at some point, it's not going to be that way anymore, and you are really going to notice it. And that's when, if it's too late at that point, your hormones are already screwed up, and it's going to be a long road back to recovery. That's why I make these videos. I've gone through it. People just seem to want to keep going through it, and they just don't listen to what I'm saying. Even though I've showed track record of when I do this, this happens, and a lot of people are like that. I got rid of my nasty pleasures: coffee, chocolate, red sauce, spices. Spices aren't bad. You don't have to get rid of spices. The only thing that you have to watch is some spices put a lot of salt in the containers, and that you gotta stay away from, unless you can handle salt. I had somebody make a comment to me today that they added 6,000 milligrams of salt to their diet, and all of a sudden, they felt completely better. Are some of your videos on Patreon? Yeah. I really wanted to use Patreon, more for putting videos that I can't really put on here, but maybe I priced it wrong or just didn't talk about it enough. I really wanna get back to that plan of action sometime during the summer because the art job is done now. Yeah, so that is hopefully going to be happening sometime soon here. Yeah. I think that's about it, though. I really gotta get running. Some of these Friday ones are really hard for me to even, get on here. I'll give it to 15 minutes, which is, like, 2 minutes away, and then I'm gonna have to peace out. Next time, I will very likely do one on Tuesday, so if you're watching this, Tuesday, it's probably gonna be around 7:15 Eastern Standard. Um, Normally, I like the Friday ones actually usually are more busy than the Tuesday ones, but the weather's just insane nice today, so I don't know that that's gonna happen. I might come on here over the weekend. I did one on Sunday about 2 months ago, and that a lot of people came on there. How come you don't trust John McDougall? He just contradicts himself all the time. Like the video I'm trying to make, if I can find the videos that I want to make the video with, are talking about, he he just contradicts himself all the time. It's very hard to follow. I haven't really contradicted myself. I've just been telling people what I've been doing and the results I've been getting. I do think that there's some issue with dumping the sugar in, but I don't know if it's the sugar that I was using or just all sugar. So I've been testing that. And another thing that I tested for the past 2 weeks, I didn't have any starches but potatoes, and then I added rice back in, and I did notice that my body didn't handle it so well. But that might not be for everybody. They're just very specific. This is why I tell people to experiment with themselves because otherwise you may not ever get to where you want to go, because you're constantly riding on the coattails of somebody else, and that doesn't always work. All right, we're coming up at 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to get going here. I way at East Side in a couple minutes here. So Sorry if you just joined and I'm getting off. Normally I don't do this. Normally the Friday ones I really stay on here, but I got to get going. If you have any comments, questions for me, just leave them down in the comment section below when this posts, and I can either make a video from that or we can just talk about it some other time. But anyway, peace. Thanks for watching. Of course, more people are joining. That really sucks. Sorry about that. Bought some Zero shoes. Awesome. They're awesome shoes. I love them. I yeah, they're just awesome. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. I don't I try this is the shortest one I've ever done, but it happens. Anyway.